Oh, but I told you, Jean. I mean, I could fix something, then we can have the whole
Baby,
house to ourselves.
Wait a minute now. I promised you that I was going to take you to lunch at the Greenbrier, right? I'm not going to settle for anything less. Now, what? There's nothing too good for my little lady?
Oh, I think you've convinced me to stay.
Good. And there's Nancy, too.
Gee, Carla, I see you made it after all.
After all?
Yeah, Nancy, can you show us our place?
Sure, right over here. Here, how about a grid? Here's a table. Carla?
Thank you.
A waiter will be along in a minute. And,
All right.
Jean, I can give you a couple of minutes in about a half hour, okay?
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
What's all that about?
What's that, baby?
Now, don't you what baby me. You know, I have the feeling that the reason we're here has very little to do with me. Now, exactly why am I here?
Brian, I can understand your moral obligation to meet the needs of your patients. But to perform a cholecystectomy on Alice Sheridan simply because she thinks that's what's wrong with her?
That's not exactly what I said, Ben.
In so many words, you did.
Look, Ben, Alice, Mrs. Sheridan is having pains in her lower abdomen. Now, who knows? It could be her gallbladder.
There's nothing conclusive in here.
Which is precisely why I want you to examine her.
And what if I don't think she needs the operation?
First examine her, Ben, and then we'll discuss it further. Look, it's your first day in the new job, and I can understand that you're a little bit tense.
No, this has nothing to do with how I feel, Brian. Now, a moment ago, you stood right there and you told me you wanted me to perform surgery on this patient.
That's because I think that surgery is indicated. Now, if you disagree, we'll talk about it. But after you've seen her and had a chance to properly evaluate her condition. Look, Ben, I'm sorry if it came across that I was trying to tell you how to treat Mrs. Sheridan. All I'm really asking for is a second opinion.
Is that all?
Yes. But I'm sure that after you've seen her and had a chance to run some more tests, that you'll agree that surgery is indicated. Catch you later, Ben.
Okay. Exactly why did you bring me here?
I told you why. Because I wanted to have lunch with my beautiful wife.
And Nancy dropping by the table later has nothing to do with it?
Well, sort of.
I know you. I know the reporter in you. And your antenna popped up the minute we walked in here.
Love you, Carla Redland.
Well, boy, now I'm convinced something's going on.
All right. I thought if we came here, I'd get the chance to talk to Nancy.
About her so-called change for the better?
I wanted to ask her some questions about Domi.
Well, what have you found out new? I thought McGovern didn't want you looking into this.
Well, he didn't, but Carla, I went to some of the meetings.
You didn't tell me
I
that.
didn't tell anyone because I wanted to get some clues first.
Like what?
Like it isn't what it seems to be, just another self-help group, that's
Well,
what.
you knew that before.
Yes, and now I'm more convinced, too.
Well, what have you found out?
Well, one thing. Domi makes claims of having all the answers to all problems, okay? It also demands blind loyalty from all of its members. Now, that's a cult, you know it, and I know it. And the cost of this thing is kept a big secret from everybody, including the members.
Now, how's that?
Domi's seminars start out at a very small cost. But as you progress up the ladder, it gets more expensive.
So how can Nancy possibly afford it then?
That, I don't know. That's a very good question, but there's something more. There's some kind of elite within the elite, the higher up you go.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think Domi's main target is women with money, wealthy women, if you know what I mean. Now, from what I understand, you can take private tutoring lessons from Dr. Bazan. But when you take these lessons, that stuff can cost a mint.
Dr. Fazan, who's that?
Vanessa Fazan. She's the founder and leader of this Domi stuff. She's also very dynamic and very persuasive.
DOMI, founded by a woman? It stands for the Dominion of Man's Intellect?
That's it.
Yeah?
That's right.
Well, I think it should be the Dominion of Person's Intellect.
Dominion of Person. D-O-P-I. Carl, that would make it dopey.
Exactly.
That's really funny, lady. You better not let Nancy hear you saying that, though. Listen, I want to tell you something, baby. Hey. I know this whole thing seems like a setup, but honestly, it isn't. I really want to have lunch with you.
Sure, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have your wife here to throw Nancy off the track, now would it?
Do admit, I thought maybe I could kill two birds with one stone.
Well, at least you're being upfront about it.
Yeah. I wanted to tell Nancy that I was interested in joining Domi.
You what?
Wait a minute. Don't get so excited now. Only for the story. Don't let on, because I want to sort her out and kind of see where she's coming from.
For the sake of a story.
That's all, yeah.
Oh, boy, I mean, it's never dull being married to a reporter.
You know what? I love you for being so understanding.
And I love you for the way you're trying to ease your guilty conscience.
So then it was all a misunderstanding. I don't blame Stacy.
She had no reason to be angry with you.
Dave, she was angry because she felt betrayed.
She should have come and talked to you about it. Instead, she told me how you had deceived her. She acted like a child.
Dave, she was angry and hurt, and I'm afraid that I was responsible. If I hadn't assumed that Peter knew about her feelings for Russ, then none of this would have happened.
Terry, you can't blame yourself. It was a mistake. You didn't gossip about her.
But Dave, it was a mistake that snowballed into a very real problem for her.
Yes, the problem she handled very poorly. I can't tell you how difficult it was for me to control my temper with her. She said she would never accept you as my wife. And if we did get married, she'd have nothing to do with me as well.
Dave, she said that out of anger. Now, she'll come around when I talk to her.
I don't think that's a very good idea. At least not now.
Why not?
Well, because I don't want her to lash out at you. You don't deserve that.
Dave, she didn't deserve having her very private feelings made public. Don't you understand that?
Yes, of course I do. I guess the real problem is that I see so much of Amber and the way she's behaving. And you know how hate can destroy a person. But how do I make Stacy understand that?
By being understanding and compassionate.
How can I do that when her anger is directed at you? I told you today that I love you.
Tell me that again.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm going to keep telling you that forever.
And I am going to keep telling you that I love you for just as long.
It had to be you, didn't it? Why can't Stacy see in you what I do?
Dave, at the moment, Stacy sees me as Kate's replacement. I think that's part of the problem. She has never really worked that through yet. This incident involving her feelings for Russ is just pouring salt into a wound. That's why I have got to go and talk to her now and get this whole thing straightened out.
I don't think you should do it right now.
I should give her time to calm down, right?
Yes, that. And Stacy's got to realize that she's being immature. I want her to realize that. I also want her to realize that you're on her side, as I am. But right now, she doesn't believe that.
Dave, that's exactly why I have to go down to the paper now and talk this out.
Do me a favor. Don't go. Look, if you do go, you'll end up apologizing to her. And it's Stacy who should apologize to you.
Dave, I hear what you're saying, but I still feel that waiting is just going to make matters worse. It's going to widen the gap between Stacy and me, and I know that neither one of us wants that.
Well, yes. Have the test results come back? No, just send her in. Thank you. Hi, Mrs. Sheridan. Come on in.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. May I ask what your first name is?
It's Ben.
Ben. That's a very strong name. It suits you.
It does?
Yes, you have very strong vibrations. I'm a very sensitive person when it comes to picking up other people's vibrations.
That's very interesting. Would you have a seat over there, please?
Thank you. I'm sensing that you have doubts.
Doubts? Doubts about what?
I'm not sure, but I can see you're skeptical. I don't like that. Perhaps I should see another doctor.
Well, that certainly is your privilege, Mrs. Sheridan. If you wish, I can contact Dr. Graham, and he'll set it up so you can see someone else.
Oh, yes. Brian, he did recommend you, and he is simply wonderful. I'll stay. Now, when do I come in for the gallbladder operation?
I can't really answer that, Mrs. Sheridan, until I see the test results.
Well, I really don't see why I need more tests.
I just want to make double sure about everything, just to be sure.
Well, Brian agrees with me that the gallbladder is the problem. And I'm only here because somehow he feels that it would be good to have a second opinion.
And it is good to have a second opinion. That's why I want to see the test results.
Well, when will you get the results?
Sometime later today. Now, what I'll do is have my secretary set up an appointment for you for sometime later in the week.
Well, if I have to wait that long, well, I guess I have no choice. I'll get in touch with you then later in the week. But I still think those tests were unnecessary.
I'll have my secretary set everything up and let you know when you have your appointment.
Good day, Dr. Martin.
Goodbye. Yes, Sharon. Lori, she's here? Yes, of course, send her in. And is Brian in his office? No, that's not necessary. I'll catch him later. Thank you. What are you doing here?
Thanks a lot. I mean, maybe I should just turn around and leave.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I'm very glad to see you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mwah.
So, why are you here?
Well, I mean, I couldn't let your first day go by without visiting you. And I have an office-warming gift. Guess what it is?
I'm not really in the mood to play guessing games. Why don't I just open it up?
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Well, the Martin Trio.
I hope you like it.
Like it? I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah. In fact, I know exactly where it can go. It can go right over here on this corner. Right? There, how's that?
That's fine. I wish I could say the same about you.
What do you mean by that?
Then I can tell when something's bothering you.
It's just the first day on the job, that's all. Lori, there's nothing wrong. It's just that everything's new and it's going to take a little getting used to, that's all. Also, I've been going over patient records all morning and it's been a little frustrating. Maybe that's what you see.
Frustrating? How?
I have some real questions. For instance, this one right here, Mildred Collingswood. Now, she came here and had a facelift a year ago, and she's scheduled for another one.
So soon?
Yeah, that's my reaction exactly. And Dr. Arvin's not going to be here until tomorrow sometime. And I have questions about some of these other patients as well, but the doctor's schedules here are erratic, to say the least. It's going to take me a few days just to get the information I need.
Well, have you seen any patients?
Yeah, I just saw my first patient right before you got here, Mrs. Sheridan.
Is she going to be all right?
Yes, of course she's going to be all right. Why would you ask that?
Well, Ben, is this case worrying you?
No. Why would this case worry me?
Well, I was just asking. Hey, come on. Are you free for lunch, sir?
As a matter of fact, I was getting ready to ask you the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Can we leave now?
Don't see why not. Let's go.
Okay, hey, wait. I want to say something to you before we go.
What?
I want to tell you, again, that I am in support of your decision to come to the Institute.
Thank you.
And I hope that whatever's bothering you won't affect your decision to work here. And one more thing. I hope that we can always confide in each other, because if there's one thing that I've learned in these past few months, it's that you and I have got to stay open and communicate together.
You don't have to worry about that, Lori. Let's go have some lunch.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, you're interested in joining Domi?
Well, Nancy, I was certainly considering it.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier, and I saw the change in you, and I was just
You figured if
thinking,
it can change me, it can change anyone, right? Well, it'll do wonders for you. It really will. And you too.
Well, I really hope so. You know, Nancy, I really haven't been feeling too well lately, and I just haven't been happy, you know? Isn't that right, baby?
Yes, that's absolutely right. I mean, you should see him at home. He just mopes around.
Yeah. It's like I've been looking for something that I just can't quite put my finger on what it is.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, that's the way I was before I took Domi. It has just done wonders for me. And Dr. Fazan, oh, she's just fantastic. You'll love her.
Boy, she sounds like quite a woman.
Oh, Carla, you have to hear her speak.
She is a medical doctor, isn't she, Nancy?
I don't know, actually. Wait, does it matter?
Oh, no. I was just curious about her background, that's all.
Why?
Well, I mean, Nancy, come on. I mean, if I'm considering joining Domi, I want to learn a lot about it. That's all I'm saying.
Gene, you're too suspicious. You gotta learn to trust people more.
Oh, come on now. That's just his reporter's instinct, Nancy. That's all it is.
I hope so, because I would hate for anything that I say about Dr. Fazan to get twisted to hurt her or anything.
Wait, Nancy, you don't have to worry about me.
Well, I hope not. You know, because Dr. Fazan and Domi are the two most important things in my life right now, and to a lot of other people as well. And none of us would like to see anything happen to Dr. Fazan, that's for sure. Look, I really gotta get back to work, okay? Listen, you know, the best thing for you to do is just go ahead and take Domi, and you'll see what I mean. All your doubts will be gone.
Oh, well, thanks, Nancy. You really have been a big help. And, listen, look for me soon in the Domi meeting, okay?
Hey, that'd be great. Well, look, take care, you two. Nice seeing you again.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nancy. You think she's on to you?
I don't think so, but, I hope not.
Well, I could tell you one thing. I am really getting intrigued about all of this. Did you see how defensive Nancy became when she thought you were going to be a threat to Dr. Fazan?
Yeah.
Now, I just wonder what kind of tactics this Dr. Fazan uses to command such devotion.
Carla, I don't know. I'm going to tell you one thing I really intend to find out.
You really think you should talk to Stacy?
Yes, I do. And I don't think I should wait. She needs understanding and guidance.
Yes, but I think maybe I should talk to her first. She's got to realize that she can't jump to conclusions, as she did in this case.
Dave, do you remember what I said about pouring salt into a wound? That's exactly what you would be doing. As a matter of fact, you might even be making matters worse.
I suppose you're right.
I think I am. Look, if Stacy and I are to have any kind of a relationship at all, this problem has got to be dealt with. And the sooner we deal with it, the sooner the healing can take place. The sooner the healing takes place, the sooner your daughter and I can build a friendship.
You know something?
What?
I'm in love with one very smart lady.
Oh, is that right?
Absolutely.
Where have you been?
Oh, a very pleasant afternoon to you, too.
Excuse me for being so abrupt, Preston, but I've spent a very frustrating morning on that telephone.
Huh?
I'd like to know what's going on.
Look, don't you be a little more specific?
I've been trying to locate 4 of Carpenter Shipping's top executives without success.
Oh, my, and who may they be?
Earl Case, Bob Cropsey, Jack Lerner, and Alan Pressman. I talked with each one of their secretaries and got the royal runaround from everybody.
Well, why don't you try and be patient just a little longer?
And just what will that accomplish?
You never can tell.
Come, Preston, you do know something about this.
Look, Vaughn, I have nothing to do with Carpenter Shipping anymore. That's my brother's responsibility. Now relax. I'm sure their whereabouts will turn up in due time. Besides, with my brother running everything, why worry?
Boy, that isn't even funny, Preston. But come on, if you know where they are, I have a right to know.
Well, if I do, you will in good time. I have something to ask you, though. Are you still going to contest Courtney's annulment, or are you reconsidering?
I'm going to contest it.
Hey, you're going to go through with it, huh?
Yes.
Has a trial date been set?
No, but it should come up within a few weeks.
And what's your strategy going to be?
Well, quite honestly, Preston, I don't feel it's wise to divulge such strategies to you. After all, you are Courtney's father.
I see. You don't have any strategy, huh? Look, the trial date is not far away, huh? You standing up in court, declaring your love for Courtney, that's not going to cut a lot of weight. Now, you got to come up with something concrete and fast. I hope you heed my advice.
I'll give it some consideration.
Good. No, I'll get that.
Well, if you'll excuse me.
No, stay. If this is who I hope it is, you might be interested. Hello?
Preston, this is Charles.
Oh, Charles, how are you?
Never mind all that.
Charles, I'm afraid you have a bad connection. I can't hear. Where are you calling from?
You know darn well I'm talking to you from Chicago, and I want an explanation now. What are you doing to me?